Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we're going to learn about Ielts Speaking Test Part 2. Our topic is going to be Describe a street market in your city. Describe a street market in your city. In this lesson, we're going to look at some questions and some sample answers. I'm also going to give you some tips to help you score a high band in your Ielts speaking test. Now, let's begin with the questions. Describe a street market in your city. So you have to think about a street market that you have in your city. So a market that is located in a particular street in your city. You should say A, where it is, B, what you can buy there, C, what it is famous for, and D, explain how you feel about it. Now, to answer the first part of the question, that is question A, you should say where it is. In that question, the examiner wants you to identify the location of the street market. Exactly where is the market located? Now you can answer that question by saying, sample answer A. The street market is located close to the bus station in the middle of the city center. The street market is located close to the bus station in the middle of the city center. Now, in that answer, I told the examiner exactly where the street market is located. It is located close to the bus station in the middle of the city center. Close to means that the market is very near the bus station. Now, the bus station is where you can catch a bus when you want to travel somewhere. You go to that particular location to catch a bus. That is the bus station. And at the bus station, you can find so many other buses, maybe taxis. They are all waiting for passengers to transport them to different parts of the country, for example. So that is the bus station. In the middle of the city center means that it is right at the center, the central part of the city, right in the middle, in the central part of the city center. Now let's move on to question B. What you can buy there. So the examiner wants to know what sort of things can you buy from that street market in your city. Now you can answer that question by saying, you can buy all sorts of things from this market, including farm produce, for example, fruits and vegetables, as well as meat and kitchenware. You can buy all sorts of things from this market, including farm produce, for example, fruits and vegetables, as well as meat and kitchenware. So I have described the sort of things that you can actually buy from the street market. And that is, you can buy all sorts of things. All sorts of things means you can buy different things. All sorts of means different types of things from the market. For example, farm produce. Now, farm produce is what comes from the garden, what comes from the farms, okay? What the farmers have grown and harvested, and then they bring that to the market. That is farm produce, because produce means it's a product of the farm. For example, fruits and vegetables, those are farm examples of farm produce, as well as, so besides farm produce, for example, fruits and vegetables, you can also buy meat in the market, and you can also buy kitchenware. Kitchenware means all the cutlery, all the things that you use to cook or prepare food in the kitchen. And also, so for example, you have plates, you have cooking pans, you have knives and forks, spoons. All those are examples of kitchenware. Now let's move on to question C. What it is famous for. So in that question, the examiner wants you to tell him or her what makes that particular market unique. What does everybody know this market for? What is it known for? Now you can answer that question by saying, the market is renowned for selling fresh fruits and vegetables at bargain prices. In addition to that, the market is famous for selling a wide variety of seafood such as fish, prawns, and lobster. The market is renowned for selling fresh fruits and vegetables at bargain prices. In addition to that, the market is famous for selling a wide variety of seafood such as fish, prawns, and lobster. So in that answer, I have explained to the examiner what the market is famous for. What does everybody know about this market? Now, the market is renowned for. Renowned for means famous for. Remember, we are aiming for a band 9 here. So instead of using the market is famous for, we use renowned. Renowned means it is famous for selling fresh fruits and vegetables, that is, fruits that have just been harvested from the garden, and the farmers have brought the fruits to sell in the market and the vegetables, so they are completely fresh. Fresh fruits and vegetables at bargain prices. Now, bargain prices means cheap prices. Okay? Bargain prices means cheap prices. In addition to that, the market is famous for selling a wide variety. A wide variety means a great choice. You can choose a wide variety, a great choice of seafood. Now, seafood is food that you get from the sea, okay? For example, fish, prawns, and lobster. Now, let's move on to question D and explain how you feel about it. Now, in that question, the examiner wants you to talk about your feelings. So you need to use words to describe your feelings about the market. How do you feel about it? Now you can answer that question by saying, I absolutely adore this market because every time I go there, I buy fresh farm produce at really cheap prices. Besides that, I'm really impressed by how friendly and generous the market vendors are. They always give me a discount. I absolutely adore this market because every time I go there, I buy fresh farm produce at really cheap prices. Besides that, I'm really impressed by how friendly and generous the market vendors are. They always give me a discount. So in that answer, I have used words to explain my feelings about how I feel about the market. And one of the words that I used is adore. I absolutely adore. Now, to adore something is to love something a lot. So you can replace the word adore with love. I absolutely love this market. I absolutely adore this market. And I explained why, because every time I go there, I buy fresh farm produce. I buy produce from the farm that is completely fresh. But that's not all. I buy the farm produce at really cheap prices, at bargain prices. Besides that, I'm really impressed by how friendly and generous. So I'm impressed by how friendly and generous the market vendors are. Friendly means that they're very welcoming, and generous means that they're not stingy. They sell a lot of products for very cheap prices. They're very generous. And the next word that I underline there is market vendors. Market vendors are the people who sell the products in the market. We call them market vendors. They always give me a discount. Now, when you get a discount, it means that you pay a lower price than the price that the market vendor is selling their product. For example, if the product is £1 per kilo, they sell that to you at 70 cents, let's say, for example, instead of £1. So you get a discount of 30 cents. Now, this brings me to the second section of this lesson where I promised I'm going to give you some tips to help you score a high band in your Ielts speaking test. Now, usually with part 2, you get a few minutes to prepare yourself. As soon as you get your cue card, the first tip I would give you is read each question and underline the keyword in the question. That's going to ensure that when you start giving your answers, you do not go off topic. Tip number 2 that I'm going to give you is that for each of the questions, try and at least have 2 or 3 points. Tip number 3, join your points together using linking words. For example, you can see in my sample answers, I have used a lot of linking words. In the first sentence, in sample answer B, for example, I used the linking word for example. I also used the linking word as well as. In sample answer C, I used the linking word in addition to that. I also used the linking word such as. And in sample answer D, I used the linking words because, besides that, and. So use a lot of linking words in your answers. The next tip I'm going to give you is, if you're aiming for a band 8 or a band 9, the examiner expects you to use a lot of compound and complex sentences. Now, when you use one linking word in a sentence, then you have a compound sentence, because a compound sentence is just made up of one linking word. Now, when you use two or more linking words, then what you have is a complex sentence. Now, the next tip I'm going to give you is that make sure that you use the correct vocabulary for the topic that you're talking about. In this lesson, we are talking about a street market in your city. In the sample answers, I have underlined for you a lot of vocabulary that you can use to talk about this topic. The next tip I'm going to give you is try as much as possible to use correct intonation and speak fluently. Now, how do you improve your fluency? You improve your fluency through practice. And to help you practice, I'm going to read the sample answers for you so that you can repeat after me. And by doing that, you're going to improve your fluency because practice makes perfect. Are you ready to begin? Let's begin with question A, where it is. The street market is located close to the bus station in the middle of the city center. B. What you can buy there. You can buy all sorts of things from this market, including farm produce, for example, fruits and vegetables, as well as meat and kitchenware. Question C. What it is famous for. The market is renowned for selling fresh fruits and vegetables at bargain prices. In addition to that, the market is famous for selling a wide variety of seafood such as fish, prawns, and lobster. Question D. Explain how you feel about it. I absolutely adore this market because every time I go there, I buy fresh farm produce at really cheap prices. Besides that, I'm really impressed by how friendly and generous the market vendors are. They always give me a discount. So there you go. If you keep practicing and repeating after me, you can pause the video. You will realize that your fluency is going to improve. Now, if you found this lesson helpful, then please give the video a thumbs up. Share the video with somebody else and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn your notification bell on so that you know when I upload a new video. Now, thank you very much, everyone, and I shall see you in our next lesson. Bye-bye.